Hey hockey fans, welcome to Goal Line Hockey. And today we're going to continue the season outlook series today as we take a look at the Carolina Hurricanes. What a great story the Hurricanes were this season, and we'll hopefully see what happens with Tom Dundon as the owner. There's definitely seeming to be a little bit of a culture change there in Carolina. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up and a subscribe, and let me know, how do you think the Carolina Hurricanes will do next season? Okay, so the Carolina Hurricanes, team that in the beginning of this season was supposed to make the playoffs, for better or for worse. And the East seemed to be a little bit easier of a division. And that didn't end up being the case. It was a pretty tough division compared to the West this year. The West seemed to be a little bit more wide open. But Carolina gets into the playoffs. They, beat out teams like Buffalo and Montreal for making one of those last wild card spots. And they got the Washington Capitals in the first round. And, oh no, here we go. It'll be a quick, Caps in 3. It was bad. And people coming into the series were thinking this would be an easy series for the Capitals to win. And that wouldn't end up being the case. But it didn't start off easy for the Hurricanes. They were down 2-0 early in that series, came back, had the possibility of they had an elimination game in both games 6 and 7, able to win both those games, and they were able to come in, do what they had to do, beat the Capitals in double overtime of Game 7 in Washington. Then they swept the New York Islanders in the second round. And unfortunately, they ran into a really hot team, which is the Boston Bruins, who are in the Stanley Cup Finals right now. So, unfortunately, Carolina did lose in the third round. But again, it seems like that pedigree, anytime the Hurricanes make the playoffs, they at least get to the Eastern Conference Final, or they could even win the Stanley Cup. So, it's a little bit of a wild card there for the Hurricanes. They had a really good season, and that defense really was showcased in these playoffs, and we saw the emergence of Dougie Hamilton. We knew he was a pretty good player. He seemed to show up here in the playoffs, and a guy that really was showcased all across North America and overseas anywhere. He was really showcased in this year's NHL playoffs, and we love to see stories like this. A guy like Jacob Slavin, and he played so well in the first 2 rounds for the Carolina Hurricanes. Not so much against Boston. I think he struggled a little bit. But in this round, in the first 2 rounds, he was really good, really made a difference for the Hurricanes. And he's going to make some good money when his contract expires eventually. He's going to get paid. And listen, he has been a pretty big piece for the Carolina Hurricanes. Not a guy you would expect, but he has done his job, and he has made a huge difference for this team. Unfortunately, we saw the issues with Carolina. They were pretty much exposed in the third round, the conference finals against the Boston Bruins. They had problems scoring goals. They weren't scoring like they were in the first 2 rounds. And, that's what happens. They ran into a hot goaltender in Tuukka Rask, and they just weren't able to keep up. They had a really great season, though, overall. Getting the conference finals, they defied the odds pretty well. They had, a little bit of magic, and they went on a pretty good run this year. So, unfortunately, they were unable to stop Boston's top line, and that's something we have still yet to be seen, to be shut down, that line. Nobody's been able to shut down that group of Marchand, Bergeron, and Pasternak. So, overall, good season for the Carolina Hurricanes. They have a lot to be excited for in the future. And with some of the young guys coming up, like Svechnikov and Aho, they have a pretty good group there in Carolina. So, thank you for watching us here at Goal Line Hockey. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up and a subscribe. And make sure to comment down below how well are the Hurricanes going to do next season? Are they going to make the playoffs? How many points are they going to have? Thank you for watching, and have a good day.